is Richard Arbiza. Love what I'm seeing from Omar so far in his first offseason as GM. Would love to see Slay maybe. Also, shout out to JuJu for getting his bag, but New England is gross.
Yeah, Darius Slay did get released. I don't think he has signed anywhere just yet.
No, I don't even think they released it. Yeah, it's past 4, so they probably officially did it.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see where he's going to sign at, what his market is. Obviously, we were talking about that cornerback market. We know what Cam Sutton signed for, but we're still obviously waiting to see what the others sign for in that market to just see what that number is going to look like. And yeah, JuJu, man, salute JuJu, man. 3 for 33 M's, 11 mil per year. I personally am happy for JuJu. Specifically JuJu, oh, I love that, man. Get the bag. I don't care where you get it from or how much they give you. You take all of it and you don't say anything. You don't give it back. You don't regret it. You don't feel bad about it. You take, in fact, start tweeting at some more people. That's what you do with your 3 for 33. Love it. Appreciate it. Respect it. Now, in terms of the business part of it, do I think it's an overpayment for what he brings? I do. But at the same time, I think of New England and how Bill Belichick has been running his stuff in terms of the people that he pays. We've seen them give it back to Nelson Aguilar. We've seen them give it back to a ton of people up there where you just question sometimes, is that the right move, or could that money have been better spent elsewhere or utilized just or divided up a little bit better? But either way, I just look at it like for the organization, I don't love it for them, but for JuJu, love it for him. It's going to be interesting, though, in terms of JuJu's dynamic and temperament in the New England way. Because I'm like, I got guys that were up there in that. Multiple guys at various levels of their career. And I've shared the locker room with JuJu. And we've seen JuJu's temperament even lately. That's going to be very unique. I'm really interested to see how that dynamic plays out, man.
So a couple things. You think this just was a Jacoby Myers for JuJu swap with New England?
Could be, because Myers left.
Myers got a similar contract with the Raiders. Is this where the wide receiver market's coming to? Because I would argue JuJu deserves more than Myers at this point.
Yeah.
So if Myers is getting 11, I guess 11's fair. I do agree with you. It feels like an overpayment, but the market has increased for receivers over these last couple of years. Like, they're almost getting quarterback money. The top guys, Tyreek Hill and all that.
To an extent, yeah. But I always laugh, man, because it's like we're okay with the market increasing for wide receivers, bumping up to JuJu getting 11 per year. But when we went back to the quarterback convo, it's like, well, hold on. When are we going to stop bumping this? And when are we going to check this? When are we going to correct that?
I think because it's so much more of a percentage of the cap versus receivers.
But it still counts, though.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather have that $5 million going to a JuJu, or you put that 5 extra on your quarterback's deal type situation? Like, I always think of it like that. And that's when we talk about the whole dynamic of the quarterback market and when do you cap it, when do you say enough's enough, let's reset that market. Whereas at these other positions, we don't really have that conversation.
Yeah, the other problem is with that is quarterbacks, you got one guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas receiver, there's different levels of where they're getting contracts and stuff. So we're considering JuJu like a tier 2 or 3. So with JuJu's contract, it's not like, you're either getting 30 mil or you're getting paid like minimum and you're a backup. Yeah. But that's how the quarterback position is.
No, it is. It definitely is.
Whereas you're paying JuJu 11, he's actually going to be a key part of your offense.
No,
he's going to be on the field a ton.
Yeah, trust me, JuJu's a good player. We saw that even in the postseason in the Super Bowl run. He's a good player.
I'm with you. I think it's overpaid.
Not a great player. Yeah,
I do agree.
You don't want to overpay a good player. That's all.
That's crazy. Because I saw Myers' deal and thought that was an overpay as well.
Exactly. Because we know in the sense of the productivity that you're going to get versus that market value. And that's the conversation. But
Myers ain't bad. 804.6. He's not bad. But
once again,
11.
Once again, think about it like this, right?
Cam Sutton.
But think about it like this. How much Jacoby Myers tape were you watching all season? Were we watching every game from Jacoby Myers? I think of like Deontay, right? If we looked at Deontay's box numbers, Deontay is going to have a ton of people around the league feeling like, yo, this dude could argue for being wide receiver 1. Like, you'll make an argument for it. Whereas for us in Steeler Nation who watch him on a week-to-week basis, we're like, yo, his numbers are good, but at the same time, we don't necessarily think that it's to that extent. When I think of Jacoby Myers, I feel the exact same. Not to comparing him to Deontay, but in the sense of his numbers versus when you actually watch the games, the impact that he's given. And that's like my issue. And that's why I was saying to you, like, don't backtrack the feelings of Jacoby because it is accurate. It's just when you look at the numbers, yeah, the numbers are going to give a little bit different story. But as we talked about, numbers don't always tell the whole story, man.
I guess what I mean with Myers is I think he was in an inept offense with the Patriots.
You can make a case for that too, though.
With him going over to the Raiders, familiar guy with McDaniels, them getting a Jimmy G. Now they gave
great
a
quarterback
baller
situation for him, huh?
Yeah, great. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Just like a better offensive system. Devontae Adams as a wide receiver opening things up for him. Like he could probably replicate that. It's just, is that worth $11 million? Like I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
But with how the market is and stuff, that's why I brought up the name Cam Sutton. It's like, is JuJu and Myers like the wide receiver version of Cam Sutton?
You can make a case for it.
The other thing I was thinking,
good, but just not great, but still really good. Absolutely.
Do the Patriots play the Eagles this year?
I hope so. I definitely was trying to think, like,
was this just
when
the
is
smart move for
AJ
JuJu?
Brown pulling up? Like, when do we see AJ Brown?
Because the Chiefs play the Eagles this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So I was like, maybe he was leaving. He's like, I don't want to see that.
But like, obviously, with JuJu now on the Patriots, I don't think that beef hits the same.
I think for JuJu, it's going to hit wherever JuJu is at. Unless
it's just going to fly more under the radar.
Yeah,
with him not being on the same team.
But put it like this: if JuJu doesn't say anything else going forward about it, it'll fly under the radar. Everything will be fine. You'll have people try to bring it up if they play each other, but it won't have nowhere near the type of legs. If he continues at some point in time to poke at it,
he shouldn't. He's not on the Chiefs anymore.
Right. As long as he just vibes and shuts up, he's fine. But if he decides to keep poking those bears and stuff like that, then yeah, expect it to be a little bit more crazy.
Speaking of Jacoby Myers, he was the dude that threw that backward pass in that Raiders game. You remember that?
See? Yeah, exactly. Definitely don't want him. Not playing.